We went with Collinson's because they offered a design and build option. Also, the fact that they were a family-run business seemed to be particularly pertinent, as well as the fact that they'd done this kind of build in schools before, and they don't subcontract their workers, and that was also equally important to us. We had absolutely no idea what kind of building we were looking for, and Collinson's gave us some options around the tensile structure that we eventually went for. We chose Challenger because we liked the light that came through into the facility. Often sports halls can actually be quite dark and enclosed spaces, and Challenger just seemed to bring the outdoors in. It's a really lovely environment for the students to run around in. Collinson came up with an initial design based on what we initially said we wanted. That changed a lot throughout the process. We were still evolving what we wanted. We were still unsure about whether we wanted a fitness suite or a dance studio, whether we wanted a classroom or an IT suite. And throughout the whole thing, Collinson's adapted and kept with us and advised us and amended the build until we ended up with exactly what we wanted. The classrooms came about later than the original design. We'd put in a bid to the EFA for some additional classrooms for the college, and the money came through for that, so we spoke to the EFA and Collinson's to find out whether we were allowed to combine the two. The EFA were happy with that, and Collinson's redesigned the build and incorporated them into it for us. We visited two facilities, one that was being built in Grays, which was an enormous 8-court facility for badminton, and that was incredibly impressive. We then came back and took the heads of PE up to a facility in Peterborough on a day that was pouring with rain and quite grey and dark outside. And it completely put the minds at rest of the heads of department about having the tensile structure as their sports hall, because they could just see that even on a grey day the light in there was fantastic, and the noise that they thought would be an issue with the rain wasn't. The communication with Collinson's throughout the entire project was exemplary. Anytime I had anything that I wanted to question, however big or small or petty, they were immediately responsive, always on the phone. The project manager was always available. The site team were a pleasure to have on site and to work with.
Having everything all under one roof is a definite advantage. I think when the students arrive, they see the facility, they've got a big smile on their face, there's just everything's there that they need for their PE lessons. The real change within the extracurricular, we have a core bulk of students that will get involved in everything, no matter kind of what the facilities are. But now we're over here, we do get a lot more students that are kind of watching what's going on from the side and then coming along and joining in, so they have that kind of, they get to see it and then they kind of want to give it a go, which is good. The weather makes a big difference. Previously, we were trying to cram all the students into our small gym. We can now move the students into the sports hall. We can divide it with a dividing curtain. There's much more kind of purposeful activity that students can engage in. The actual tensile structure itself, we did have some concerns when we were looking at the planning stage that it would be a bit too cold, it would be a noisy environment with the weather outside, and realistically none of those have been the case. It's really bright because of the membrane, and it's quite a rarity. We actually do need to put the lights on during the day, and you can teach lessons without the lights on. It's that bright, which is really good.
The sports hall has lots of different markings. It has a basketball court, football, netball, badminton. So the actual court itself brings out new sports. Because before we didn't play badminton or a lot of basketball, but now it's a regular thing. There are lessons in the fitness suite as well. The teacher will explain which piece of equipment's which. It also helps because you can learn from injury stages. So if someone was injured, they can learn about which pieces of equipment to use to help with a recovery. Having a modern sports facility is really important. It encourages people to get motivated with sport because they see new things they want to try, so they want to get involved in it.